equipment that is so versatile is the wall. So let's play with some movements that we can incorporate using the wall as a prop. We're going to start off in one of the best poses. I keep saying that. There's so many good poses that I love. But we're going to start in legs up the wall pose, Viparita Karani, so we can really connect with our wall in a really nice supported restorative way. You can be as close to the wall as you want to be. Feet can be together or gently apart, and always a nice place to ground and connect with the wall. And from here we're going to do our butterfly pose and just gently press the knees back, finding a little bit of opening into the hips. And then a nice, easy, wide straddle. Just using gravity to do all the work here. Where the wall is such an amazing support for these poses that we often do in a seated position. I'm going to guide those legs back in and press the feet onto the wall. And I'm going to shuffle back just a little bit for some space. I'm going to take a few rolling bridges, moving up and down for some nice spinal movements. I'm going to take one leg up for a one-legged bridge, cross that ankle over, and then sink down to find a nice, easy figure 4 on the wall. And here I've got my hands. I can nudge that knee back or just relax into it. I'm going to roll that back up and change out the legs and find our one-legged bridge into figure 4. So lovely. Pressing back up and then easing back down onto the mat. Oh, we're going to roll over to one side and gently ease up. We're going to slowly make our way up, but through a malasana squat. We're using the wall behind us for a little bit of extra support, where we can really press the back into the wall. Nudge the knees open with our elbows. And really press the lower back into the wall, which feels really nice. And from here, into a little forward fold, hips against the wall, nice and steady. And I can just ragdoll through the upper body. And with soft knees, taking a nice slow roll up to find Tadasana against the wall. Head is back, shoulders are back, feeling that nice opening across the chest. Nice nasty one. And we can step the feet forwards to find the correct angle to move into our Utkatasana chair pose. Make sure your mat doesn't feel too slippy. And pushing through those legs, nice and strong in your chair. Arms wherever they feel comfortable. And pressing all the way back upright. We can use the wall in sun salutations to either make them a little bit easier or much, much harder. So we're going to start off nice and gentle with a sun salutation facing towards the wall, taking the arms up into high mountain and forward folding down. I'm going to halfway lift to the wall, lengthening forwards. Bringing the hands up onto the wall to find plank, either with heels grounded or to make it a little bit more active on the balls of the feet. Pushing hands into the wall, chaturanga, squeezing the elbows in. Pushing the wall away, cobra. And keeping hands nice and high up the wall for a downward facing dog shape. And then I can slowly bring that back down from a halfway lift, forward fold, and rising up to standing and grounding into Tadasana. We can turn away from the wall to make our sun salutations and standing poses a little bit more punchy. So always a bit tricky to figure out your distance away from the wall. So a little bit of a fiddle sometimes, but roughly middle of your mat is a good place to start. We're going to rise up, high mountain, forward fold, halfway lift, and I'm going to step back to find my heels on the wall for my downward facing dog. Taking one leg up onto the wall, we're finding a three-legged dog. Feeling a nice strong push into the hands, securing those hands nice and strong. Both feet meet on the wall, into a plank. Holding nice and strong. And then I'm going to walk the feet roughly in line with the hips to sort of find a little bit of a downward facing dog shape. And keeping one foot on the wall, I can step forwards and move into high lunge. Pyramid pose, and even moving into a warrior three, using my wall. So creating a nice strong flow through wall planks, standing poses, making use of the wall. Let's feel it on the other side. Rising the arms up. We forward fold, halfway lift. I'm going to step back, heels on the wall, downward dog. Left leg up, three-legged dog. Strong push through the hands, plank on the wall, hips down. Walking the feet down, little downward dog. Left foot looks forward, steps forwards, finding a lunge. Straightening out into a little pyramid. Back foot anchored on the wall, warrior three. Lovely. And then from there I can move back down into my down dog. The wall makes for a really lovely place to move deeper into splits and standing splits. So let's feel how that can work against the wall as well. From my three-legged dog, I can push one foot up against the wall, anchor through my bottom foot, and then walk myself back as far as you want to into a little standing split and changing out the legs, other side, walking it back. Nice and strong. Some of our more basic standing poses can also be intensified using the wall, even though it feels like it's going to be an assist to have something to lean against. It definitely makes these poses a lot more challenging. So we're going to move into our wide standing positions. Turning my right foot out, I'm going to move into a warrior two. Having my back placed against the wall, I can really feel where my shoulders are stacking above my hips and that nice opening across the chest in that warrior two. Then here I can move into my side angle and using that top arm to really feel the opening of the chest with my wall. And triangle pose. And we often lean our heads forwards in triangle, so this really helps to bring the head and the shoulders and that top arm into a nice, beautiful triangle. Let's reverse out of it and do that on the other side. Warrior two, nice and strong. Side angle pose, feeling that twisting of the top shoulder and arm against the wall. Straightening for our triangle pose. Oh, feels so lovely. And reversing it out. We can use the wall for balancing poses, of course, as well. Things like our half moon pose, again, gives us that nice sense of what we're doing in our upper body. So I'm going to have my hip against the wall and opening out into my half moon pose. And I can also use this to pivot around for your twisted half moon, which is quite intense. And releasing it down, over to the other side, down into half moon, and twisting the chest towards the wall, revolved, and cut. And taking some more wide-legged positions against the wall, we can move into our wide-legged forward fold, pressing the hips back into the wall. It feels really nice. But we can also flip that around the other way and facing towards the wall. I'm going to tuck my head in and then press my head and shoulders back against the wall in my wide-legged forward fold, leading and pushing into the wall to deepen that wide-legged forward fold stretch. And some forward-facing poses that feel really lovely using the wall is our forward fold. So we're going to stand with either feet together, Uttanasana, pushing into the wall, and this really works really nicely into the shoulders. You can also step 1 foot forwards and move into pyramid pose in a really nice sort of halfway lift position that really gets a nice stretch into those hamstrings. In this way, I could also do my balances like warrior 3 on both sides. So a nice assist using the wall. And of course, if we're using the wall, we can't forget our inversions, whether it's a forearm balance, a headstand, or a handstand. The wall is one of the best tools to use in building confidence, getting over fear, having the wall as an assist. So we can do handstands with the wall from a standing upright position to use a bit more momentum coming into our handstands, and also a great way to practice kicking up against the wall as well. And if we're practicing our forearm balances or our headstands using the wall, to have a little bit of something to know that there's a wall to catch you, but that we can start to practice to come off the wall as well, moving into our inversions, finding our balance with the wall, and then slowly beginning to practice moving off of the wall. So I hope you feel inspired by a few of the movements we did today to use the wall throughout your practice, not only at the end when you're doing inversions, but also for standing poses, for sun salutations, for restorative poses, that you can easily put together a full 60-minute class, repeating some of these movements, building a little bit of flow, challenging yourself in different ways than how the poses feel in the middle of the mat.